Hello, good morning. I'm so excited to be on my show again. As you know, it's Women Tell It All with Jade George. I'm so happy to be here with a very special guest, a special person. Remember, I told you about it yesterday. So this morning we're having Chris on the show today. So, Chris, I'd like you to introduce yourself to the people because there are lots of words in that introduction. I don't want to ruin my diction.
Um,
So, you are?
okay, I'm Chris Aboje. The introduction is very brief. I'm a psychologist, psychotherapist, wellness coach, and yes, hypnotherapist as well. So,
Okay, fine. So it means you are a doctor for the mind.
yes, actually,
Do you
yes.
know why he's special? Because he's a doctor for the mind. We don't really have more awareness concerning doctors that actually are for the mind. There are a lot of minds going crazy these days, so we're happy to have you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here too.
All right. So today we're discussing about the importance of breastfeeding. That is the topic for today. And the first episode is with Chris. The next episode with someone else. So we'll go straight to the point. I have some questions for you. And the
Okay.
first question I have for you is this: from statistics,
Mm.
why is it that are women really breastfeeding? From statistics now, does it show that they are breastfeeding or they are not breastfeeding? What's your range? What's your
What's the statistics in that sense?
exactly in that
Okay.
sense?
Well, in Nigeria, for example, the statistics is kind of very limited. So for you to be able to pick a number and say that okay, this is the percentage of women who breastfeed is a
Right.
little bit slim. But I would say that in general, it's not as bad as what people think that women don't breastfeed. Women still breastfeed. It's probably the frequency that has changed, in the sense that some women actually don't breastfeed as often as they would have, in the past, and there are a lot of reasons behind that which we'll talk about. But say if you want to give a ratio, would say 60, 60-40. So at least 60% of women still stick to proper breastfeeding. So it's not as bad as what we think.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
fine. So it means, for example, let us just say that 60% stick to breastfeeding and 40% don't.
Mm.
I think it should be 100% breastfeeding. Okay, why those 40 are not breastfeeding, for instance? We're going to hear about that.
Yes.
So it's actually still a little problem because if you don't tackle it now, if we don't start talking about it now, it's going to get worse.
Yes.
It's going to get worse. So it's already a problem, actually. So thank you for that statistics.
Mm.
Now, why is breastfeeding considered to be old-fashioned?
Why is it considered to be old-fashioned?
Mm.
Well, I would still point down to culture, globalization. Things are changing. What it used to be then is not what it is now in terms of culture. And of course, when I talk about culture, I'm talking about the way of life of people. Because of technology and the nature of the economic situations, women have to be engaged in other things other than just
Okay.
procreating and taking care of children and all that. And so, because of that, they don't have as much time as they would have devoted to breastfeeding in the past.
Okay.
So that might be one of the issues that's probably reduced the rate of breastfeeding amongst women. Some other thing might also be because of the body image. Women are more concerned about the way they look,
They look.
and so yes, breastfeeding might affect that in such a way that women believe that if they breastfeed too much, then their breast might not be as shapy as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So these factors might come into play. But I think most importantly, beyond that, it's just because of the economic landscape. The fact that women now work, women are more busy than they used to be before. So a woman might not have that much time to devote to breastfeeding as they would have had before because she has to go to work, she has to do a lot of work just like the man would do. And so this affects the frequency and the amount of time she devotes to breastfeeding.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you a lot. But let me now focus on women who actually have time to breastfeed.
Yes.
Like I know of an instance of a woman who is a full-time housewife, but
Yeah.
she was a model
Okay.
before she got married and then stopped modeling. Then she got pregnant for a child. She found it so difficult to breastfeed her child, even though she had the time to do so. She was always like, "My breast is gonna be fall. It's gonna be flat. It's gonna be somehow. It's gonna be." She named all kinds of shapes which I never even heard of before. That's gonna happen to her breast. And she just complained that if not for her husband, she wouldn't mind. So because her husband really loved her breast the way it looked round and beautiful before, so he might start looking outside. And there are even some guys who would be like, "See your breast don't fall, see as your
True.
breast don't be." You stand, and even in sermons in service today,
Yeah.
you hear people preaching, preachers preaching that a man has to accept his wife the way she is, not looking at the way her breast was before and
And
then now it
now,
has fallen. So it's as if they know that the men also have a part in this problem.
very, very
Yeah, they have a
correct.
part in this problem. Yeah. So now in this angle of women
Yeah.
having time to breastfeed but not breastfeeding,
Mm,
and the men also making that to happen, what's your
yes.
take on that?
Well, it still boils down to what I said earlier, which is culture. The reason why a woman would come up to a point whereby she says that I don't want to breastfeed because I don't want my breast to fall. I want to still look as sexy as I used to before I got married and before I started having kids. It's because there's been a focus and a shift of focus, sorry, and because women these days don't understand the benefits of breastfeeding. And so, again, yes, the blame might actually fall on the men too, because a woman might say this that if, after I breastfeed and I lose my breast shape, my husband goes outside and looks for a woman who has a better breast shape than I do, than I have. So that's part of why they want to maintain how they look, because they want to keep their husbands. So the man has a role to play by reminding the woman that she's still special the way she looks. That's very important for men
Yeah,
to
yeah,
also come
yeah.
to do that. So it's not a responsibility of the woman alone. It's the responsibility of the man also, and also again, the mothers too. Mothers also have a responsibility here, because in those days you notice that um, we had mothers who would educate their daughters about the benefits of breastfeeding and other roles as a
Yeah.
woman. But these days you don't have that around so frequent, and so women are more concerned about keeping their homes than they are about other things that
That
relates to the family.
which is
And
more
so
important.
which is more important to them,
Yeah,
more important to them.
yeah.
Again, when you look at culture back then, it wasn't a major problem for a woman, because a woman grew up understanding that the man could marry more than one wife.
Exactly.
And so, because she could marry more than one wife, it was even a thing of pride to her. Because most times, then when you look at culture, the man marries a younger wife and then entrusts the younger wife to the woman and say, okay,
Woman.
this is a new wife, I want you to take care of her. And she takes care of the younger wife, because she sees it as a thing of pride. Then culture would see a man as more polygamous in nature. So the man had the privilege to do,
Do whatever I want to
yes.
do.
But these days, because of religion, Christianity most especially, people have come to understand that it's a sin,
Yeah.
and so you should have just one wife. And so yes, somehow they've given the woman also a sense of a perception that this is her right. It's
These
her
are
right
right.
to have
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
man to herself.
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
and then she feels that the way she can do it is also to keep her body
Keep
for the
her
man.
body.
Yes, make sure that she's looking as sexy and as beautiful as she has always looked. Again, like I said, she's failing to understand that regardless of how your breast looks, you're still beautiful as a woman.
That's
And
where the man comes in as a mind doctor. The man has to become a mind doctor for his
for
wife,
his wife,
making
very
her
true.
mind,
Yes,
accept the fact that she doesn't have to bother so much about her breast and breastfeed the children.
true, true. It's not even just a breast, actually.
The whole
Just
body.
like you said, yes, just the whole body. It's a mental thing. It's a mind
Like
thing.
me, I was complaining this morning, I'm looking fat. I'm looking
And I
fat.
told her she's not looking fat.
And
She's
I became
looking.
happy.
She's actually as beautiful as So
Oh, okay.
she's
I hope
not
you're not just flattering me. I hope you mean it too.
I mean it. I'm not
Okay,
flattering
fine.
you.
So let's go to the next question now.
Okay.
Now, what's the importance of breastfeeding?
Okay, what's the importance of breastfeeding? Now, again, yes, this is where we need to actually focus our
Okay,
attention
fine.
to, because there are a lot of benefits of breastfeeding that once women start to understand this, it makes it very easy to then make them do it.
Yeah.
Benefits for the child and also for the mother. Okay, I'll just talk about some few benefits for the child, and we'll talk about that for the mother too.
Okay, fine.
For the child, breastfeeding is very important in the sense that I don't think there's any formula that has as much nutrients and vitamins as much as the breast milk. And so for the child, that's enough vitamins and nutrients to help develop that baby
Hmm.
again. So that's an awesome thing in a sense. Now
Yeah.
again, the first breast milk that comes out from the mother, which is usually yellowish and not looking so like a breast milk,
Yeah.
actually is very important for the child, because then
Really?
yes, it prepares the child for digestion. The child is just coming from the womb, and so of course he has not eaten anything apart from what he gets from the mother's womb, and so it's coming out. And then the first breast milk she gets from the mother prepares him for digestion and every form of feeding that might go on after then.
Yeah.
Apart from that, also the first breast milk also has, again, this is ironic, but then it contains bacteria. Yes, that's why I said it's ironic, because people then say that then I don't want to give my child, and that's where, because I heard of stories where midwives in those days would probably just press that milk
Milk
out,
out.
yes, because they
Mhm.
feel this is not good.
Mhm.
But ironically, it's actually very important, because it helps the child prepare. It prepares the child against germs. It's more like what we do now in
The
immunization.
bacteria protects
Yes,
the child against germs.
yes, I'm good. And infections, I'm going to
Okay.
explain that. Now, when the child is coming out from the womb, the child is still kind of vulnerable. And so what happens is, after you give this child this breast milk, which contains a lot of bacteria, the body system, the white blood cell, the defense system in general, tries to fight against them.
Okay.
Now, in doing that, it prepares the body to fight against every similar thing that the child might face in future. So it's similar to the idea behind immunization. Immunization, of course, you give the child the vaccine, which protects the child. But when you look at the vaccine actually, some of the vaccines contain a little portion of the infections, the
Yes.
viruses.
Yeah, I heard
That,
about that.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so you expose the child to
A
a
little.
little enough not to
Mhm.
affect or break down the child. And so what happens is that the body system comes into action. The white blood cells come in and they want to fight. And so by the time they fight, it's now like, okay, I fought against, for example, polio, something that looks like polio. So I already have a base
Mm.
that whenever something like this comes to the body, we know what to do. We know
Yeah.
where to get the
Yeah.
resource to fight this. And that same thing applies to the first breast milk.
So that's where they got the logic from.
That's where they got the
It's
logic.
from God.
It's from God, actually. It's from God.
That's
So
interesting.
again, apart from that, apart from the nutrients and the vitamins that it has benefits to the child, you also understand that breastfeeding has a way of drawing the child closer to the mom, to
Yeah.
the attachment. In psychology, we call it
Okay.
the attachments,
All right.
basically.
All right.
A child needs to be attached to the mother, because that's a sense of a source
Yeah.
of
Yeah. It does
security
that.
and all that. So breastfeeding helps that,
Mm.
and that's why you find out that most times children are closer to mothers than their
Their
fathers.
fathers because of the breast.
Well, it might not be because of the breast, but that's one of the reasons why, because they get to get attached to the mother. Studies have also shown that when the child is in the womb, the only thing the child has closely to the child is the heartbeat of the mother. He hears that frequently, the heartbeat of the mother. Now, studies have shown that when an infant, a newborn child, can actually recognize the rhythm of the mother's heartbeat. That's strange. And so when you breastfeed a child, the position usually places the child close to the heart of the mom. And so that creates a sense of closeness.
Closeness, bonding.
Bonding,
That's really
yes,
nice.
very important. So it creates a sense of bonding for the child and the mother. So that's very important, because this child needs to know that I am secure in this environment. It's a new environment. The child has been in the womb for a long time, so now it's coming back out to a new environment, and he has to have that sense of security. And that sense of security at this point is the mom. Of course, the fathers can come in once in a while, but you know that at this point it's the mom. So breastfeeding helps create that source of bonding for the child as well.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
Again, breastfeeding has a way of protecting the child against some other illnesses, viruses, like I explained. There's something they
Yeah.
call the sudden death syndrome for infants. So the child just dies all of a sudden. Of course, studies have shown that regular breastfeeding of the child can actually prevent this too. So there are a lot of benefits to the child.
Yeah.
For the mother, there are also benefits for the mother.
Oh,
Yes,
interesting.
yes, there are a lot of benefits for the mother. There's a source of fulfillment that the mother gets, satisfaction the mother gets for being a mother. And that's why you notice that no matter how much a woman achieves, she wants to have a child.
Yeah.
Of course, I know that things are changing these days, but most women, let me
Yeah,
not say every
most
woman,
women want
most
to
women
have
wants
a
to have a
child.
child.
Yeah.
It gives them a source of fulfillment, you know, because that's what somehow they've been prepared to do. A woman is the only, out of the male and the woman and the female, the female is the only one that has the womb.
Yeah.
So it makes you understand that's part of what she's supposed to
Yeah,
do.
to do, yeah.
Yes, but it doesn't mean that if she doesn't have a child, it's off.
No,
It
I
doesn't mean
understand
that.
where
Yeah,
you're
okay.
coming from.
Okay, so that's on one side. On the other side, yes, this is something that would interest a lot of women
Okay,
to
what's that?
know that, unlike, contrary to what women think, that they might lose their shape and all that when they breastfeed, studies have shown that regular breastfeeding of the child and helps the woman to lose pre-pregnancy or pre-birth that's fats, the
Okay.
fats she has acquired during the pregnancy
Oh, she
period
will
and all
lose
that.
it through
Yes,
breastfeeding.
it helps lose that. It helps
I will
burn
breastfeed though.
it helps burn calories. Yes, that's the word. It helps burn calories. And so of course the woman can burn all these things and slightly return back to shape.
Oh,
just
that's
by
interesting.
breastfeeding. Again, this is also very important for women and
Okay.
men too, and that's the fact that while breastfeeding, the woman secretes an hormone called oxytocin. Oxytocin. Now, this
Okay.
hormone helps to, yes, return the uterus, the vagina, and all that to
Okay.
what it used to be before
Hmm.
birth. So,
Okay.
in layman's language, you say it helps tighten it.
Oh, okay.
So I think this is something that men and women would love
Love.
to hear.
Of
So
course.
so breastfeeding helps do that.
Okay.
Again, I also mentioned something that for the child, which is the closeness, the bonding that
Mhm.
the child and the mother
Mhm.
expresses. It's not just for the child; it's also for the mother
For
too.
the mother too,
Yes,
yeah,
it's
to
also
feed
for.
that bond with her
Yes,
child.
it helps. It helps strengthen the bond between the mother and the child. So these are areas where you look at and you say, okay, yes. Then why are we not breastfeeding?
Yeah.
It's very important.
Everybody has to breastfeed as long as health
Every
health.
woman, every woman.
Oh, sorry, every
Because
woman.
if you say everybody, then the men are,
Come on, which
caught in
breast the men
between.
get? Do they have breast? All right, so you've answered my next two questions. We'll
Okay,
just wrap it up for you today.
okay.
Thank you so much, Chris, for being on the show today. We are so grateful to have him here. And I want to say a big thank you to everyone watching. Continue watching my channel, Jade Anibo. And don't forget, I'm at the Fascinature Nature Park. Is along Lekki Ekpe Expressway beside Farabak Estate. The Fascinature Nature Park is there for you to come witness its beautiful nature. So we'll say bye for you now, and let me give Chris a tour.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be here. Bye
Bye.
bye.